Your next iPhone might cost more than your first car did. Okay, maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but only slight. If the newest whispers from the rumor mill are even half right, the iPhone 17 Pro could arrive with the steepest starting price Apple has ever slapped on a non-folding phone. And here's where it gets controversial. Some insiders insist that Apple isn't raising prices because of inflation or tariffs alone. They argue Apple is quietly upselling by subtraction, forcing buyers into pricier tiers by simply deleting the cheaper ones. Let's unpack what's happening, why it matters, and brace yourself, whether this could actually be framed as a discount. Yes, Apple's marketing team might try that spin. The storage shuffle, 128 gigabytes, finally gets the boot. For years, Macworld's editorial team has banged the drum that 128 gigabytes is insultingly low for a Pro phone shooting 4K ProRes video. We roasted Apple for selling Macs with 8 gigabyte RAM until Apple Intelligence made 16 gigabytes the new floor. Storage is simply the next frontier. According to Setsuna Digital, a Weibo leaker with a scary accurate batting average, the iPhone 17 Pro will finally start at 256 gigabytes. Cue the confetti, right? Well, hold the parade. In a follow-up post, Setsuna claims the entry price will jump by $50. That nudges the cheapest 17 Pro to either $1,049 or $1,149, depending on whether Apple also erases the existing $100 upsell fee for the 256 gigabyte tier. Translation, you're getting double the storage, but you may not be getting a free upgrade. How Apple turns a price hike into a value story? Apple has a playbook here, and it's as polished as the stainless steel frame on last year's Pro Max. When the iPhone 15 Pro Max launched, Apple axed the 128 gigabyte option entirely. The headline price leapt $100, yet Apple could claim it wasn't charging more. It was merely aligning the entry point with the previous 256 gigabyte tier. Sneaky? Savvy? Both? If the 17 Pro debuts at $1,049 for 256 gigabytes, Apple will likely trumpet that as a $50 discount. Versus today's 256 gigabyte iPhone 16 Pro, $1,099. Never mind that you can't buy a 128 gigabyte 17 Pro at the old $999 price. That SKU will vanish like the headphone jack. The domino effect across the lineup. iPhone 17, non-Pro. Rumor mill consensus says Apple keeps the $799 sticker to maintain the psychological affordable flagship slot. iPhone 17 Air. Replacing the $899 Plus, this slimmed-down model could climb to $949 or even $999, effectively filling the vacuum left by the pricier Pro. iPhone 17 Pro Max. Expect a symmetrical bump. Probably $1,199 or $1,249, unless Apple decides to really test loyalty. Why prices keep creeping north? Global inflation, component shortages, and new U.S. tariffs on Chinese tech are the usual suspects. But let's not ignore Apple's ballooning R&D budget for on-device AI, titanium chassis milling, and periscope lenses. Someone has to pay for those breakthroughs. And Apple's balance sheet suggests that someone is you. The silver lining, if you squint hard enough. More storage means fewer storage-full pop-ups, smoother 4K editing, and room for the 3 GB Apple Intelligence models rumored to land next year. Still, power users who already live in the cloud might resent paying for NAND flash they'll never fill. And this is the part most people miss. Apple's pricing sleight of hand only works if consumers accept the disappearance of lower tiers. If enough shoppers revolt, say by flocking to refurbished 15 Pro models or jumping to Android, Cupertino might reverse course. But history says we'll grumble, then pre-order anyway. Your turn. Fair upgrade or blatant cash grab? Is doubling the base storage a genuine win for everyday users, or just another clever way to hide a price hike in plain sight? Would you rather Apple kept the 128GB model at $999, or are you happy to pay $50 to $100 more to never think about storage again? Drop your hottest take below. Agree, disagree, or roast us for defending Apple's math. We'll be in the comments. Popcorn ready. Thoman Loyola. Senior editor Macworld Roman has spent 3 decades dissecting Apple's every move, from the first beige Macintosh to the latest titanium slab. When he's not testing beta software, he hosts the Macworld podcast and reminisces about the days when Apple-certified technicians like him actually fixed things instead of just swapping boards.